by Sideline Sports Network. Obviously, tonight is a big deal. Um, Baby Gronk's going to be coming on here shortly. Him and his dad. I've been talking to him offline. Uh, I'm going to show y'all the real side of Baby Gronk. You're going to see the real side of what everybody thinks they know or what everybody thinks uh, they have figured out about Baby Gronk and what his pops is doing and stuff like that. I will tell you, most of you've got it 100% wrong. What what his pops and this young man are doing, ain't doing nothing but working. They're working what they can to build this young man's name, because name, image, and likeness is going to be around from here on out. He's already doing it. He's already putting these businesses together. He's already putting stuff together for this young man to do what he's supposed to do when he gets older. He's he's already getting his skin thick for the future, so no one from the outside can bother this young man. He's making him strong mentally. He's making him strong physically. And a lot of people think, well, his dad's probably pushing him too hard or forcing him to do this or forcing him to do that. And that's not true. The young man wants to work. That's all he wants to do is play ball. He wants to learn these things. He wants to keep pushing through and becoming a great player and a great young man. So I don't want everybody to get hung up on what you think you see or what you think you know. Get to know the real Baby Gronk and his pops as they come on Spirit Addicts. You're really going to get to see exactly what their life's like, what they get to go through, stuff to that nature. So once I get them on here, we'll get to talking. Y'all get to expect what you haven't been through before, because this young man is young and he's doing stuff that others don't. So don't get weirded out and or assume things. But first and foremost, as always, Spirit Addicts by Sideline Sports is brought to you by Game Day Vodka. Game Day Vodka is an American-made vodka. It's an American distilled, American bottled, and American sold. So if you haven't tried them yet, go to GameDayVodka.com. Place your order as long as you're 21 years of age or older. And if you don't like ordering stuff offline, go over to your local ABC Wine and Spirits, or if you have a Publix wine and spirits store near you, you can find Game Day Vodka there with no issue whatsoever. With that, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Baby Gronk and his pops. We're going to bring him on now, and we're going to get to know him. We're going to get to figure out exactly what it is that everybody's, wondering or worried about. Quit worrying. Let's get to know him now. How you fella doing?
How you doing? How you doing? We're doing good.
Doing good. Just so you know, I gave a little bit. I don't know if you could hear me when y'all are back there in the back or not, but I've given everybody a good rundown of what y'all are doing, what you're building, what you're doing with your son, what you're teaching, and etc. So my biggest question is Gronk. We'll start off like this. What do you like doing other than playing football?
Playing Madden.
So you like playing video games of football when you ain't playing football?
Or playing my sister.
Playing with your sister? That's awesome. Who's your favorite team to play with when you're on Madden?
Bills and 49ers.
Do you like playing with Josh Allen?
Yeah.
I figured as much. Do you ever play back in the throwback series and ever play with the big Gronk?
No, he plays a lot of Ultimate Team, man. He spends about $300 a week.
Okay.
Buying players.
So he's been okay. I got you.
He's addicted. He's addicted.
Are you playing on PS5 or Xbox?
PS5.
That's my guy. There we go. I was just hoping that it wasn't Xbox. Well, Dad, let's cover some of these things, because I'm sure that the people that are watching are wondering. Most of our viewers right now are on Boxcast. They're all on the TV side. We'll have more and more joining as we go on, but got quite a few on Boxcast right now. So we might break Spirit Addicts record anyway.
Let's break it.
It's great. So what we'll cover, Dad, is real quick. What made you think about setting your son up at such a young age to start building that name, image, and likeness, and start getting him to train with some of the elite guys in the world?
I kind of had a plan before I had kids. You know, I played football. I was around football. My dad was the generations have changed where the parents are different nowadays to, the 90s, the 80s, the 70s. They were a lot harder. You had consequences. You had a lot of respect, for your parents.
Right.
A lot of people feared their dad. A lot of people would say I was scared of my dad. I guess that's a good thing. I kind of knew the generation was changing and kids were going to be different. So I knew what my dad did, it worked, but I knew how I failed and what went wrong. And I knew that he showed me tough love. And I think tough love from a dad to a son is always good, whether it's sports or it's just life or it's farm work or whatever. So I kind of kept the old generation morals and principles around, but at the same time, I had to catch the new wave of social media because I knew that the internet is where the money's going to be at and where it's going to stay at.
Absolutely. And going into that a little bit, what are some of the companies that Baby Gronk's working with now?
Champ Sports, the East Bay Soul Hoodie, that's owned by Michael Vick. They sell like hoodies that football players wear and other athletes, NBA players. He's also done some work with PSD underwear. He has his own little marketing company where kids from like 5 to 16 years old, we're helping them get platforms and get them exposure. We got one kid at Oakleydale. He did a commercial with Patrick Mahomes, the most recent one. That's one of our kids, one of our clients. We got the number 1 6th grade quarterback out of Florida. When they rate these kids nowadays, it's not necessarily talent. It's more or less, them having a platform. You see what that freshman quarterback's doing, Julian Lewis, getting all these offers and the platform's helping him. He's verified on Instagram. It's a big deal now.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the best part of this is for Baby Gronk, for Madden. I love that his real name's Madden. That's absolutely amazing. Great choice of picking your son's name because that's legendary on top of Baby Gronk. So, with Madden being able to succeed at such a high level, even being this young in football, what is it like seeing him succeed? Are you still pretty expectation, like your expectations for him are still high no matter how good he does, or is there a time for celebration, or do you always show him the little things that he can fix?
We're looking at the little things to fix because at the end of the day, youth football don't get you nowhere. I can't name 2 players in the NFL where they played youth football at. So youth football really don't matter. I know a lot of parents, they're like, oh, we're going to win the national championship in this youth football, and all they're getting is a plastic trophy. It's not a big deal yet. It's good for kids to get disciplined and learn some life lessons from youth football, but I feel like you got to fix the little details and have great technique because football is a lot of technique. It's a lot of leverage game. It's a lot of hands. It's a lot of different stuff, schemes and IQ levels. You can have a middle linebacker like, Vanderers, Cowboys, Sean Lee, don't have great speed, but they're always at the right spot because they got a high IQ and can read the play before it happens. So we're always working on the little stuff. And I'm trying to fix everything and make him a complete football player where if he's called on to play linebacker or to play, receiver or running back, he can do it all. So I got him training for every single thing. So there's not just one position that he's good at. He's a football player. He needs to be on the field, no matter if it's offense or defense.
Well, Gronk, let me ask you this question. As of now, which this could change as you get older, but as of right now, do you like being on offense or defense the most?
Offense.
Because you like scoring touchdowns?
Yeah.
So I was the opposite of you when I was a kid. I liked hitting people. But I seen when you were playing offense on some of your film that's on your Instagram page, I see that you still like hitting people even when you got the ball. So I imagine you like truck sticking people here and there, right?
Yeah.
Is there a moment where you've been playing that you felt like you weren't doing as good as you always do? And what do you do to get yourself hyped up and ready to go if you feel like you're not on that day? What do you ever feel like you're off, or do you always feel like you're ready to go?
I always listen to music before games, and it helps me get ready.
Awesome.
Yeah, but he had one of those moments, dude. We played a flag tournament in Tampa before we went to Florida State, and it was a game. It was a big game because they're an app called Game Changer. They sponsored our team, and they were broadcasting it on Facebook. So it was like 100,000 or more followers. And I always tell them what's happening. Hey, man, a lot of people are gonna be watching this game, or parents. You know, they're going for you. He knows that he's a target. You know, when you're good at football, you're a target. So. Yeah. He dropped the pass right to him, which is rare, but it happened. And then, he was looking sluggish, man. He messed up, and it was like, dang, it's not going his way. But I always know that he knows that he has to make that play. So then he makes the game-winning pick six, and then the next play he makes another pick six in a row, the same game. So he still was that guy even before he made those mistakes.
Right.
But what I've shown him all his life is the difference is whenever you aren't on your game, or things are going bad, is your head down like a regular kid, or are you the same person that don't show no emotion? And that's what I preach to him. And he really doesn't show. Like, that's the difference when they see him. It's all business, man. It's all work. He could just jump in with Division I athletes and just jump right in the workout and not miss a beat. Normal kids are gonna have to re-show him and do all this. No, he's right there with them.
I got you. So
it's the little things, man. Like. If you got kids, whenever the game's over, baseball, football, whatever, if you look at the kids nowadays, they're sitting on their butts. What do you sit on? What do you do whenever you're in the games and you sit on your butt? What do you do?
Stand up.
Stand up. Tell them.
Stand up or take a knee.
It's the little things.
Much respect to that. I was gonna ask. Y'all got to play in that tournament down in Tampa. You had that moment to where you wasn't, you dropped a pass, but you came back and had 2 pick sixes in that game afterwards. When you were on your way back and you got to stop at Florida State, what was your favorite part about stopping at Florida State? What do you like the most so far?
I like the players and I like the stadium. It looks nice.
Awesome. So you did like Doak Campbell. You thought it was nice.
Yeah.
Did you don't have to pick a favorite player, but do you think you're going to be as big as Jared Verse is?
You'll be as big as him?
Maybe.
You're going to be as big as you can get, though, I bet. And you're going to do everything you can to get big. So, So I had Greedy Vance on last night, which you took a picture with him by himself. He's a DB at Florida State. And I've got a clip that I'm going to release after this one's over with, where we talked about you visiting Florida State, and when you came up to him, he said the first thing he noticed was your chain. So I'm going to drop that so you can see it, because he was extremely excited about how you carried yourself, how you acted around the players, how you acted toward everyone. Said you were a very impressive young man. So I'm going to drop that so you can see it. I was going to wait until next week to do it, but because you're on here tonight, I'm going to put it on as soon as you get off. And I want you to see what, like, Greedy Vance and people like that say, because they respected how you carried yourself. They said they couldn't believe that you're only 9, first off. So a lot of people are impressed with you, Gronk. You obviously know that, but you also know that you got haters. I seen your videos. You put them up. The biggest reason you got haters, and take this advice from me if you don't take it from nobody else, the biggest reason you got haters is because you're doing something not only that they can't do, but they're not willing to do. So let them hate. As long as they hate you, or as long as they hate on what you do, as long as your name's in their mouth, you're going to keep doing just fine. So you keep making them hate. If you ain't got haters, you ain't doing something right. So you're doing a great job. Dad, I'm gonna gonna talk a little bit about what your thoughts were when y'all got to come to Florida State as well. What were your thoughts as far as what you got to see? I know y'all were there for a short period of time, but what did you like?
Man, it surprised me, dude. It surprised me a lot. We've been to a lot. Usually I take them to college tours, dude. And I got a friend, a buddy of mine. His son plays. I coach the U team, the tackle team. His son plays, on our squad, man. And all he talks is Florida State. They're fifth generation. So he's like, you got to take them down there. You got to take them down there. He talks to Robert Satter and everybody else.
Right.
And he said that's the place to be. He said it's a culture vibe, man. It's family. They show a lot of love, and I heard them, but it wasn't that I was thinking bad of it. It just we never went. And we've been to Ole Miss, we've been to Alabama, we go to LSU, we go to Oklahoma State, Texas, Baylor, Rice, Florida. We've been all over, all these camps, and I met a lot of people and recruiters and players. But that quick time that we went there, I liked the town. When I was driving by, it just had a different feeling. Like, dang, it's a pretty good spot.
Right.
When I saw the stadium, it was nice. But what impressed me, dude, was the players, man. Like, they were all Jordan Travis, man. Just a humble guy. Jerry Verse is the one that got us the pictures. And he was all love, man. When I saw him, I look at energy, man. I look at he was smiling. He was happy. So that's the stuff that I looked at, and it was just like, it was a good feeling. Man, Florida State got a whole bunch of legacy. They got a whole bunch of Hall of Famers, people playing in the league right now. They send a lot of people to the league. It opened up our eyes, man. It's an option now. If Norvell called right now and he said, "Hey, man, we'll give him a verbal," because he's young. Hey, we're taking.
I'm all for that. I want y'all to as fans, that's who I'm talking to. I want the fans that are ringing my Boxcast TV stuff off of the hook. It's great. I'm very happy that Baby Gronk and his dad's come on to share what their process is. We're going to go into what Baby Gronk's life looks like on a weekly basis as far as football goes. How much he works out, what type of workouts he does. Because I found out earlier, right before the show started, that he don't just play football. How many sports does he play? How many sports do you play?
5.
So you play soccer, basketball, football, lacrosse. Okay. So
get this, man. His first lacrosse tournament, we got clips too. Barstool's lacrosse posted him. He was knocking out kids like it was football. So he fit right in. That was the first ever tournament he got posted by Barstools.
What we saw, I contacted FSU Barstool on the one post, and I said, "Hey man, y'all gotta make sure that you share this. This kid's blowing up. He came to Florida State for the visit, and the guy's like, how did I miss this?" And I'm like, I don't know. So he's intrigued by what Baby Gronk's doing and what you're doing. So once he shared it, which I'm sure y'all seen where Barstool did it. When they shared it, I think that's over it's over 150 something thousand views now.
It's going crazy right now. Twitter, Instagram, the reel got like 200K.
Yeah.
It's going crazy right now. I see a lot of they don't understand it though. They're like, oh, well, he's with these older girls with the cheerleaders. Man, dude, the kids have been taking pictures of cheerleaders since we were kids. It's not a big deal. The thing is, you're gonna have to be ready for them women. You're gonna have to be ready for women. I mean, it started with Adam and Eve with the apple. Like it's gonna happen. You gotta know how to handle yourself. There's gonna be a lot of obstacles. There's gonna be a lot of temptations thrown at you, and there's gonna be a lot of things that you're gonna have to be prepared for when you get older. Money management, a lot of stuff. So I'm trying to prepare him for all of it, man. If he doesn't make sports, at least he's ready for this world.
Exactly. And that's what I was explaining to a lot of the fans that were writing me about. We had posted that we were bringing y'all on. A lot of people were writing me, "Hey man, are y'all serious? You're bringing a 9-year-old on?" Blah blah blah. So when I explained to him, I said, "Look, check out his story. Look why I'm bringing." I said, if it was a regular 9-year-old, no, I wouldn't be interviewing a regular 9-year-old. But this
Yeah.
isn't a regular. This isn't a regular 9-year-old kid. This kid's putting in work like he's a full-grown man. So.
Yeah.
He's serious about what he's doing. He loves what he's doing. So why would I not bring him on? Look what everybody sees out of him. Look what they're happy to. I'm not the only one that sees the potential. That's obvious. Look at everybody that's brought him on. So he's been here. He's been to Florida State. Those guys were impressed. I've seen many coaches that he's visited as far as college goes. They're impressed. Other players are impressed.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about his training facility, where he gets to train with, like, what type of guys are there? Who is it that's in that facility?
Man, you got pro players all over. He did a workout with Tony Pollard, Cowboys running back. You got Derrick Henry, telling them good job after his sets. Julius Randle, Miles Turner, Pacers center. Who else did we work out with? CD Lamb running routes with. A lot of Division Ones. He goes to a lot of a lot of his trainers. They do they'll get all the pros, before they're going into the draft. So he'll be around them all, and it's just good for him to see that, so he understands how to move. He's watching them move and watching them how they work out and everything else. So that's why I keep him around the people that already made it.
And what's really cool about it is that you have the opportunity to get him around the people of his stature. And when I say that, meaning that he's getting ready for something that maybe he doesn't fully understand it all the way yet, but he's learning it so quickly and learning so much at one time. I'm impressed with what y'all are doing. I think what you're doing is entrepreneur already. Like that, what you're doing is something that no one else is trying to do. And by you doing it successfully, which you are, and so is he, by y'all being able to do this, y'all are creating a blueprint for younger athletes that are coming up. Hell, you're creating a blueprint for guys that are older than him right now.
Yeah.
Because go ahead.
No, I've already put on a whole bunch of young kids, man. I'm sharing my knowledge. I'm sharing the game. We're more universal, dude. We're like the Drake of youth football, you could say, if it was music. But the thing is, the internet's the internet, man. And real life's real life. And he's a humble kid. He's a hardworking kid. He goes to school. He don't get in trouble. He follows the rules. He makes all A's. It's if he can keep this up his whole life, it'll be a pretty good life.
Yeah.
And it's the internet pays, so the people want good content, creative, funny, different types of stuff they've never seen before, and that's what we give them, But at the end of the day, dude, we're working as hard as the kid that wants it. Like we're going 5 days a week. We eat certain foods. We're invested in them, traveling, camps, training. I mean, dude, it's a full-time job. They don't understand how much work we put into this. It's like whenever kids have parents that work, jobs all their life and they got a house and everything else for them, they don't appreciate their parents, still. And the mom and the dad will say, man, you don't appreciate nothing. Well, it's because they didn't see how hard they worked at their job. They weren't there to witness it, all the, work they put in, the hours and the tired, how tired they were. Right. So nobody will ever understand it because they're not, they're not going through it with us. But he puts in a lot of work, man.
Well,
when he first started, he couldn't catch a ball. Man, you couldn't do nothing right. He put a lot of time in.
So talking about that a little bit, obviously you had to put in a lot of time when you first, got him started and stuff. But now that he's on a workout routine, how many hours would you say a day or a week that he puts into this craft?
Probably about 2 hours a day.
About 2 hours a day?
5 days a week normally, and he'll go do his cryotherapy and all that stuff about 3 times a week. He'll do the cryo, he'll do the leg machines. So we take care of him, man. We're signed up, to get him taken care of. We ain't just running him to the ground. I also got there's a thought in my head, man, that he might play one more year, and then we might just sit a year so he can just fully, save some, because
Right.
football, man, you only last for so long.
Right. And that's what I was going to ask you. So obviously, with you talking about potentially letting him sit a year, you're really trying to take the measures of, one, making sure that he's healthy. Two, you also want to make sure that he doesn't stunt his growth by working out too hard. Contracting muscles too quickly can cause them not to lengthen the right way, which I'm sure your trainers, the guys that are with you yourself, know that you want him to get as big as he's naturally going to get before he really starts putting that in. And you can tell by his body stature, he's a well-built kid, but he's not overdoing it. He's not like he's walking around like that kid that was called Little Hercules that was his age that literally had.
Oh, they're putting steroids in his stuff, man.
Yeah. So y'all are taking care of Gronk. You can tell it.
No, we're taking care of him, man. And his mom is a big, supporter. She really balances him. Like, they just went to he missed 2 flag games yesterday because the grandma and the mom took him and his sister and their cousins to a Lion King show, man. So, he has a good life. He has a great life. It's not, you can't judge a book off its cover.
Right. And that's what I was trying to explain to people is that you're seeing the brand. You're seeing the
commercial.
Yeah,
they're seeing the commercial.
Yeah, you're just seeing an act that this kid is putting on for the internet. I'm not talking about your play. I'm just talking about the skits and stuff that you do.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's a skit. It's to get the attention. It's to be able to show people who you are when you're having fun, stuff of that nature. Like the video that you got up where you went to the beach, where y'all are on the beach and you're playing and all that. I'm like, yeah, this was a kid that didn't work too hard. Right. Okay. No, this kid gets to be a kid.
Yeah.
It's obvious. You just heard it from his dad that he skipped 2 flag football games to go check out a Lion King show.
Yeah.
It ain't like they're forcing this young man to go do stuff that he doesn't want to do. He'll tell you himself he'd rather play football than do anything else. So I'm going to ask both of y'all this question. And if y'all got the same answer, that's cool, but I still want to hear it from both of you. Seeing how you play so many sports, you've got 5 that you play. Would you be a dual sport kid going into college? Would you play 2 sports going into college?
Yeah.
If you had to pick 2, which it could change, but if you had to pick 2 today, what 2 sports would you play?
Football and basketball.
Football and basketball, okay. Pops, what would you want him to play?
There's no basketball, man. He just likes basketball because he's trying to learn it right now. So whenever he tries to learn something, he'll get into it. He watches a lot of basketball highlights on YouTube. But he's a good baseball player. He thinks baseball is so slow and boring, but he got a bat on him, center field dude. He's making catches that grown men make, just because of the footwork, and the ability, the mobility. He got a future in baseball.
Okay. Well,
if I had to pick one, and he had to pick one between those, and it was going MLB or NFL, dude, I'm thinking baseball.
I ain't teaming up on you, Gronk, but I'm gonna tell you the amount of money and for how many years the money you can make in baseball versus football. Try baseball. Ask Deion Sanders about it. He'll tell you which one made the most and which one's easier on the body. And once you get in MLB, it becomes a lot more fun. Your problem right now probably is that you're probably the top athlete out there, so it is slow. The game gets a lot faster when you get into high school. So when you start playing high school baseball, I bet you fall in love with it deeper. But I'd like to see you do both. I mean, be Deion, be someone like that. Bo Jackson did it. Deion did it. There's a couple others. You can play baseball and football at the same time.
Kyler Murray.
Yep.
Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, he got baseball practice on Wednesday, man. He ain't leaving nowhere.
Who is your favorite NFL player right now, Grunt?
really have one.
Don't really have one? Mine's Jermaine Johnson because I don't care about NFL football. I only like college. That's
Man,
it.
Johnson, he's with the Jets right now, ain't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They
He
came
got
after him
scored, too.
they came after him solely to get Josh Allen down. That's the whole reason they recruited him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you a couple more questions. But if there was one place that you could go to and live for the next 2 or 3 months as far as football wise and learn from, let's say we'll put Russell Wilson, Murray, and we'll put what's the other guy's name I was thinking about?
Bo Jackson.
Yeah. We'll put if you know who Bo is, that's cool. But out of those 3 guys, who would you like to learn from as being a running back? Who would you like to learn from being a wide receiver? Who is it that you would like to be around?
Bo Jackson.
I'm so excited that this young man knows who Bo Jackson is. Y'all don't even know what that means to me that he knows who Bo Jackson is. But I'm glad that was what you picked. Have you had the opportunity to meet Dion yet?
Yes.
How was that? Did you enjoy meeting him?
Yeah.
He met him at Jackson State.
Okay. Clinton, is that around Clinton or where that? They're in Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah, it's close. It's close.
It's close. They're like, I think Clinton's just north of it or something. But
yeah, he got a picture with a man, and they wrote a whole article on it. You know,
that's awesome.
But I knew Dion back in the day because he moved out here to Prosper, Texas. Whenever I was younger, so he's been around now.
Absolutely, it's cold in Colorado, and he went there. So hopefully Dion does great things in Colorado. I'm hoping he does.
There's a lot of questions, but at the end of the day, we can't answer none. We just got to wait.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, you also got to meet Shaquille O'Neal. You got to meet Shaq and sit courtside with him. How was that?
Good.
Did you?
He don't ask for a lot of autographs, you know. Like
He asked for that one.
He's not starstruck, man. But when he saw
Right.
Shaq, oh man, he went real fast, you know. Like, hey, I gotta get it.
Hey, I met Shaq here in Orlando, where I'm at. I met Shaq when I was 14 years old, and he grabbed me by the back of my shirt. He was messing with me because I was at a camp. He grabbed me by the back of my shirt, and I turned around because I was like, "Who's grabbing me?" And then I look up, and I about fall backwards because of how high I had to look. So I could imagine what it's like meeting Shaq at 9 because I was 14 and pretty tall. So that's a humongous human being. So,
Yeah.
What other guy or what other NFL guy have you met that you like a lot?
Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
So he was with Dallas, and where did he go now?
Browns.
The Browns. Okay. So you've met Ezekiel Elliott, right?
Yeah.
Crazy story. He met Zeke at a Zeke camp in kindergarten, and it was really 2nd through like 6th grade. So I had to lie about his age to get him in. And Zeke was going around. They had like 4 little games of like 2-touch football that they were running for the campers. And Zeke was going around as a all-time quarterback and just moving. You know, it was quick. And he went to him, and he threw him a pass the first time, and he ended up shaking these kids, and it kind of went viral. You know, and that was the first time he ever met Zeke.
Okay.
So Zeke was the first real NFL player to follow him. But Aqib Talib was the guy who really, you know, saw him play and talked about him, and it kind of built his name up.
So with saying that, how many, I mean, you might not know off the top of your head, but how many NFL guys and pro players do y'all got following Baby Gronk?
Dude, you're talking, just to name some, you got Gronk following them, Zeke, Pollard, Pittman, who else you got? Leonard Fournette, Shaquille Barrett actually gives them tickets to go to the playoff games.
Awesome.
Who else you got? Yeah, tell me. Oh, Joe Mixon, close to Joe. OBJ talks to us and goes back and forth with us. Man, you name a dude, they're on there, man. Brees Hall. Man, we could just keep on going. Put
I'm
it this
good.
way: his Instagram is so powerful that he can DM that rapper Little Baby, and D Baby said, "I heard about you. You know, my friends told me about you. Whenever I'm in Dallas, I'm gonna tell you."
Absolutely. Absolutely. What started that, Dad? How did you start the social media following? What'd you do?
I kind of got the marketing from like the music industry. I used to be, used to be in there. I kind of knew how to do it. You know, how to get a fan base, how to get a follow. It's hard, and I already had a plan for him. And really, it was just more or less. That wasn't the hard part. That was easy. It was the training him to get him right, because when he first, when he was younger, it was a mess, dude. He didn't look like he looked. I got videos that we showed him. You'd be like, dang, y'all put a lot of work in, and that was the hard part. But the marketing, dude, he did a play where he shook a pro player's son. I don't want to say no names because that's not me. And it went viral. And then after that, we had him pulling the Dodge Ram truck. And it went viral everywhere on ESPN, on World Star, Sports Center. It was everywhere. And then he just kept going viral. He kept going viral, and he was doing moves and catches. He started getting better, and it was quick, man. To us, it was long, him improving. But man, if I go back at it, it happened overnight.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I can tell off of some of the clips, how much he has improved from, let's say, video a year ago, 2 years ago, till now. The improvement that he's gotten. I mean, very impressive footwork. I don't know who's working with you on your footwork, but it's very impressive.
Yeah, that's the first thing I did was footwork and side movement. To move to the sides, because football's only about 10 yards, and you got to be able to move sideways.
Yeah.
And now we're working on this top speed, and what else we're trying to fix right now? Man coverage. His form and man coverage. So in case he got to play linebacker, he can cover, receivers, because they pay you more for that. And we're just looking at all the little flaws, man, to fix and keep working.
Absolutely. Well, Gronk, let me ask you this question: what's your top speed when you're running?
In the 40. What'd you get?
5.5, I think.
5.5?
No, 5.43.
5.43?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty damn fast for. That's really fast for a 9-year-old. But you probably can run it quicker than me. And I used to run it in 5 flat.
Yeah, he went from a 5.75 to a 5.43 when he started training with that guy. About 3 months we've been training with him. But so they're fixing his form right now. So it's getting better, dude. But the difference between him running and other kids his age, those kids are only weighing about 60 to 80 pounds, and he's 115.
Right. How tall are you, Gronk?
5'1".
Big 9-year-old. That is a tall that's tall to be 9. What I was going to ask you next, and your pops can answer it, and then you can answer it. It's fine either way. If you come back to Florida State and I get you to see the locker room, would you be willing to do that?
Yeah.
You think it'd be cool to be back there and check that out before the games and stuff?
Yeah.
Did you like meeting Jordan Travis?
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite Noel that you met that day?
Who was your favorite that day?
That's hard.
They won't take it personal.
I don't know.
You don't know? All right, I'll tell Jared Verse it was him because he was the biggest guy I think you met. So I'm just going to tell him it was him.
Jared Verse was the guy, though, that got us in. The guy that, hooked it all up, man. Shout out to Jared Verse.
Well, I will say this, Gronk. It's very impressive that you sat here for 39 minutes so far. That's hard for any kid to do. So very impressed with your work ethic. I'm very impressed with your manners. You seem to be an extremely hard worker. You seem to be a very smart young man. I was very impressed with your little sister earlier before we started. So it seems like your parents know what they're doing as far as raising kids. Hopefully every once in a while you give your dad an elbow and tell him, I appreciate what you do for me, Pops. Because it seems like y'all are doing a real good job together. I'm very impressed with what y'all are doing. Don't let anybody tell y'all that y'all aren't doing it right because they ain't never done it. So you keep doing what you're doing. Don't let anybody tell you different. Only other question I got for you real quick. You got a girlfriend?
No.
Do you want one?
No.
I'm not going to ask you why, but I'm proud of you on that too.
Why don't you want a girlfriend? What do you?
They're distracted.
They're very distracting. It can throw your whole game off. You can worry about girls when you turn 30. Worry about them then. Worry about girls.
He had a crush. He had a crush one time. He was playing football, and after the game, he told. Just tell her.
Oh.
And okay, I won't tell her.
Hey, Gronk, I appreciate you coming on here, man, and I appreciate you chilling with us. You're more than welcome to sit here and chill for longer if you want, or you can get up and start doing what you want to do because I know I'm probably boring you to death. But before you go, can you give us your signature move as far as you already know what it is, so I ain't gonna say nothing. There it is. I appreciate it, young man. I hope you do well. I hope everything goes the way that y'all need it to go. Dad, I think you're doing a great job. If there's anything else that you would like to cover, man, I'm like I said, it was a conversation. I'm not hung up on nothing one way or the other. But I would like people to know, let them know where they can find y'all, follow you at, all of that good stuff. And we'll keep talking, but just let everybody know at this moment where they can find y'all. Man,
you can check us out on Instagram. It's you just type in Baby Gronk and the kid will pop up with the blue check on it. That's him. Twitter, it's Baby Gronk, I think 5. Also got Facebook. Just type in Madden San Miguel or Baby Gronk and it should pop up. We're on YouTube. It's just type in Baby Gronk and it'll pop up. If you want to go look up more stories on them or more interviews, go to Google and just type in Baby Gronk and it'll all pop up. His biggest interview so far was, Willie McGinnis.
Yeah.
NFL Network. That was his biggest interview so far. So he got some stuff. He got a whole bunch of stories. It's more to the story. Like I had told you, he got signed to Little Boosie, the rapper, in 2nd grade. That didn't work out. We got out of contract, and now it's been better. I just want to say shout out to all the Florida State fans because they showed a whole bunch of love. I know I saw some negative comments, but at the end of the day, dude, they were retweeting, they were sharing. I think we had put 500 retweets, and he's going to Florida State, and I think we're like at 360. I mean, it's a lot of support, man. We're gonna go back soon. It's more or less. I don't know. You know how it is. He's young still, but Florida State, we want to get connections with schools and a good connection. So, it might be 3 or 4 schools we have great connections with, and it's going to be his choice, at the end of the day, where, but I want him to have it already. I want him to know, hey, man, I like this school. I like this school. I like this school. So we have 6 to pick from. And those are the schools that showed you the most love. You got to remember, his loyalty is how they treated you when you were there. He knows that. I think I'm surprised because he liked Ole Miss. You like Ole Miss better than Alabama, right?
Yeah.
And you don't want to hear why he liked Ole Miss better. Tell him. Just tell him.
I like their food.
He likes their food.
Mississippi people know how to cook, man. I promise you. The Mississippi people know how to cook.
We like Florida State, man. It really impressed us. We went down to Florida, man, university, and it wasn't everything I expected. Not even the field, not even the, when we're on the field, it wasn't, you feel a certain feeling.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I know. I completely understand. When I was being recruited, I got recruited by multiple schools, but I went to UCLA, which had a good baseball program.
Yeah.
And I went to USC, they had a good baseball program. And I expected those schools to be larger than life. And I was more impressed with Ole Miss, Florida State, and Tennessee than I was out of those supposedly big time schools that were larger than life. I was more impressed with the schools down here in the South as well. So I completely get it, and the food was definitely better.
Yeah.
So I really understand what y'all are saying. What was it like meeting Nick Saban though? Did you enjoy that moment?
Yeah.
Nick Saban's untouchable, man.
Oh, I know.
You know, Nick. Put it this way: when you go to a camp, you know, all the coaches are there. You know, they're open. You know, hey, how you doing? They'll talk to you, have a conversation. Nick Saban will come with 2 security guards with rifles. Even at a youth camp, you know, that's how Nick Saban is. You know, Nick Saban, he's not changing who he is, or it's driving him crazy. I think the NIL, the new wave. But by the time he's in high school, I think they're going to be paying high schoolers. You know, like they're already paying some, I heard. But I mean, to be honest with you, they offered him $10,000 to play on a youth football team. That's real. And you know, we turned it down. You know, I wanted to coach him, and you know, I want him to be in my hands. You know, still because we're still fixing a lot of stuff, and I want him to have have that coaching, and you know, I know where he's at, and I know what I got to fix.
Do you feel like if he does take that year off that you're talking about, you're still gonna probably do some training and stuff with him, so he won't be completely off. But do you feel like that's the best thing for him? I kind of want to in more in depth why you think that's a good idea. I agree with you. I just want to know what your thought is on why he might need to.
I just feel like it might be a good idea. I don't know. It might hurt him. So we got to see how it goes. It's just health wise, man. It's like this. Nowadays, these parents are playing kids year-round tackle football. They're playing spring football. There's no reason for all that.
Right.
They're just, you got parents that just, that's my boy, that's my son, you know, and I hear a lot of people that, you know, my kid, he's a dog, you know, he has that dog in him. That's really what they're saying. But at the end of the day, not every position needs to be a dog. The quarterbacks don't need to be dogs, the kickers, the you know, not everybody. There's different types of players and different types of games, you know, how they play. DB, some are more aggressive, some just, you know, they know how to cover and they got speed, you know, it's just different. Your kid doesn't get that animal or that dog, that killer instinct like the football players need. They don't get it from youth football. They get it from the house. They get it from the mom and from the dad and how they're raised and how they were treated. That's where they get that dog from.
Right.
Back in the day, I think a lot of kids or a lot of players, they had more problems at the house. You know, they saw a lot of stuff, so they had a lot of pain in them, and that's really what drove them to be that animal on there, because that was a release. You know, they could release on the field. Ray Lewis used to see his mom get beaten up, so he had a deck of cards, and he'd drop an ace, and he'd do 10 push-ups, and he'd do them until he was tired, you know, and he'd keep going because it hurt him so much, and he couldn't beat up the man that was beating on his mom, you know. So that's how it was back in the day. But to be honest, dude, it seems like either social media or everybody wants to be great parents now, or they at least show pictures and videos like, hey, we're over here or we're here. I don't know if it's real or not, but people want to be involved. And I see a whole lot more dads now. You know, back when I was younger, I had a lot of friends that didn't have no parents, you know, and they weren't around. So I see a lot of people that are trying to help their kids more, you know. So I think people are living better. They have better lives, even though they show that the world's a bad place.
Yeah.
I think with youth sports and kids, man, there's a lot of support for kids right now.
Absolutely. Gronk, I got a couple of questions for you, man, as far as what's your favorite food?
That's hard.
You like all food?
Is he eating healthy or eating bad?
Bad, eating bad. What's your favorite bad food?
Bad.
Probably Subway.
What's your favorite thing that your mom cooked?
Chicken.
Chicken? Do you like when you came to Tallahassee, did y'all eat anywhere here?
No. That's the thing, dude. We got to go back soon because we really, the little short time, man, we were probably there about 40 minutes.
Really?
Like, stop and go. And I know that there's a whole lot more. And I'm telling you the truth. Like, I ain't just saying this to, you know, boost the fans and all that, but it really was, a good. It seemed like a good atmosphere, good
Oh
environment.
yeah.
Just
Oh
sitting,
yeah.
just driving by it and then seeing the people. It was a good
You gotta
first
come.
impression.
If we can make this one happen, y'all have to come to the Florida State Miami game. That's the
Yeah.
game I want him to see. I'll
Where's
get
it
him.
at? Where's it at next year?
It's at Tallahassee.
You know what month?
November. November. I don't know the date yet, but I know it's in November. But we got to get him to that kind of game because
Yeah.
when there's 80,000 people and they're doing the war chant and that place is completely rocking and Renegade runs out and Chief Osceola drops that spear, there is nothing in the world like it.
Yeah.
And people, I will tell y'all this is the truth. We've had Gator fans come to Florida State and their kids experience that moment for the first time. And they tell their parents, right then, I am a Florida State fan. I don't care nothing about the Gators no more. I've seen it happen multiple times. People can say what they want, but there's no more electrifying feeling than when Renegade runs out and drops that spear. It's the best.
How long you think Coach Norville's going to be there?
Me personally, I think Norvell's here for the long run. I think that he'll be here. I don't think we're ever going to lose him because we're not going to pay him. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I think we're always going to up the money as long as he keeps lifting the floor. Like if y'all watch those interviews I just did with CJ Campbell and Greedy Vance, they'll tell you their floor is 10 wins now. They will. Their expectations is go 11-1, 12-0. There is no more of this bad season stuff.
Well,
so
everybody's talking natty. Everybody's talking like this is the year coming up is the year for the natty because all the transfer moves that they may do, it's ridiculous, man.
Yep. Norvell is definitely the portal king. He definitely knows what he's doing.
That's why I think Norvell needs to, go viral again and Baby Gronk a verbal with a State, it's over.
Yep. I agree, man. And look, I know he didn't get the chance because y'all was only there for a short time, but you get to meet Coach Norvell, and when he comes back this next time, we'll make sure all of that happens.
Yeah.
We'll make sure everything that he needs to do, he gets to do, and I will take y'all to some of the best places to eat in Tallahassee that there is. He will be excited. We might have to get him a little bit of bad food, though. It might be cheat day. Because there's some places that I want him to go to that, yes, it's we'll just say it's fire.
Yeah.
You'll love it. I've got about 8 minutes left. I'm gonna do an introduction thing real quick of our other show, and I'll send you some of these when I get them. It takes about a day, and I'll get the numbers from Boxcast, and I'll show you those because that's where everybody's at. I know where everybody's at because I can see it. So, you did break my record as far as Sporadics goes on Boxcast. I can tell you that already.
Yeah.
So it's much appreciated for y'all coming on. I couldn't tell y'all enough what it meant to get the interview with you guys. Can't wait to talk to y'all more about the football cards. We got a lot of stuff we can work on. And something else, Gronk. Don't take no Gatorade deals because I'm gonna try to work on getting you a Powerade deal. Don't take nothing from Gatorade. We don't do Gatorade at Florida State. No Gatorade.
All Powerade.
All Powerade. No Gatorade here. So I'm gonna see what we can work out. But the Powerade is the way to go. So I do appreciate y'all coming on, man. If there's anything that I can do in the near future, obviously you got my number. You hit me up anytime.
Yeah.
And we'll be talking anyway. I'm gonna give you a call tomorrow, and we'll talk over some of this stuff, and we'll also talk about the Johnso stuff that we were doing.
Yeah.
And I'll let you know everybody that's contacted me because my phone has completely went. Hold on. My phone has went. I don't know if you can see it or not.
Oh yeah, I see it.
But it's went completely crazy. So as soon as I get all these connections and people tell me what they're wanting to do, I'll hit y'all up and let you know what's up. I appreciate y'all coming on.
Yeah.
Gronk,
We appreciate you, man.
kill it this year, man. Whatever you do, whatever sports you're playing, you be you. Don't let anybody tell you different.
Thank you.
I know Pops ain't gonna let you do it anyway. And me and your Pops talked about this too. So you still in my signature. I don't care if you flex. You can flex all you want, but you still in my signature. I don't smile in videos or pictures. I won't smile. Never have. I've got pictures back here with some of the greatest players to come through Florida State, and there ain't a smile on my face. Now you stealing it from me. I saw you.
You know that he knows football players don't smile. And he's fixing his teeth right now. He got braces and so I guess a lot of football players got some jaw lines, man, different kind of jaw lines.
Yeah,
he got some different kind of jaw line. I think so we had to get him a headgear and everything, man, to fix him. So he's still fixing right now.
My daughter, we just took her off of her braces.
Yeah.
But when you're done, it's so much better. It's going to help you so much. You'll love it.
He'll probably smile more.
Oh, yeah. I would like to hear. I'm going to hear the story offline. I'm going to hear that story about that girl offline. That crush.
Okay.
I'm going to hear about that offline.
Oh, man.
Is it cool if Pops just tells me offline? All right, cool. Well, y'all, I appreciate y'all coming on, and definitely we'll hit you up afterwards.
Okay.
Y'all did a wonderful job. I appreciate y'all showing everybody what it's like being in the life of Baby Gronk. Y'all explaining all this stuff to us. I think y'all are one of a kind, man. Y'all are one of a kind of family, and y'all impressed the hell out of me. So I can't wait to have y'all on again in the near future, and I can't wait to continue to work with y'all to see what we can do. So y'all have a good rest of your evening, and I'll hit you up after I'm done with the show.
Okay. I appreciate
it, man. Y'all have a good one.
All right, have a good one.
And go Noles.
Go Noles. Flex on.
Appreciate it, Gronk. Y'all have a good one, buddy.
Have a good one.
Well, everyone, that was the interview with Baby Gronk. Hopefully, y'all can see the side of this family that I've got to see and I've got to know. These are some really good people, man. Those are just good people. There's nothing malicious about that family. They're not trying to work that kid too hard. You heard for yourself, his dad said he might take him, out for a year to let him rest, get some of that stuff. He doesn't even know if that's good for him football-wise, but he doesn't want him to overwork himself. He doesn't want himself to get overexhausted and potentially hurt himself in growth or any of that stuff. I talked to that young man for a good 25 or so minutes before the show. He was telling me the stuff that he likes to do, the stuff that he wants to do, that he was been impressed with football since the first time he can remember seeing it. So maybe the haters can dial it down a little bit, dial it down, because I don't think y'all are seeing anything besides the little skits that they put on and stuff. That's for show, man. That's what all the greats do. They all got that show. They all got a show to put on. And this kid's just learning how to do it way beforehand. Maybe you should become a supporter. Help support the young man. Help support what he's doing. Don't bash what he's doing. Be part of what he's doing. You can talk to his dad. His dad's open. I got to hear his mom speaking to us in the background before the show. He's got a beautiful little sister. And you heard the kid yourself. One of his favorite things to do other than play football is to play with his sister. That don't sound like no kid that's got an attitude problem to me. Not to me. I think that the persona that was put on, people misread and just seen the book cover and don't really know what's inside the book. So hopefully I got to show a little bit of enlightenment and show y'all what the inside and the real Madden, because that's his name, Madden, which I think is a